What's up, guys? So I know this is a little weird and strange and different. I feel kind of weird and strange and different, but we're going to have class tonight. And so if you are joining on the live stream right now, shout out to you for that. I appreciate you doing that. Or if you're watching this later, thank you for doing that. We're going to try to keep class kind of like we usually do it. And so we're going to play a game here in just a minute. But listen, I know when you've been in my class before, some of you have been tempted to chat and text during class. I'm not going to name any names, but while you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to chat and to text and to interact, and we'll try to interact with you as best we can. As we get started, I need to say a special thanks to Nathan Stout. He is helping me get this started. I would be lost without him. This would be very, very low quality, and so I appreciate Nathan for doing that. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. Him and Corey Ann have a YouTube channel, Nathaniel484, so go watch that. It's pretty awesome. So I know that things are strange right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, and things are kind of difficult. In times of uncertainty and difficulties, often we should be drawing closer together. Like we should be around people when we're going through difficult things. If someone's going through a hard time, we want to be with them. We want to give them a hug. We want to deliver them food and be with them during those times. But this is a special, unique circumstance where we can't be together physically. And so we actually have to distance ourselves from one another. And so it can be tempting during this time to feel really isolated. And so what I want us to do as a youth group, what I would like for us to try to do is to make every effort we can to continue to be together, whether it's online, and get creative in how we can be together through this difficult time. And so we're going to try to do that as we have class tonight. And then throughout the week, going to try to give us some other opportunities where we can maybe, play a Jackbox game on Twitch or Discord or something like that, and do some other things together throughout the week. So as we get started tonight, I want to go ahead and offer a word of prayer. So bow your heads with me as we pray together. God, we love you so much. We're thankful for all you've given us. We're thankful even during times of difficulty. God, I pray that you are with us. There's a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. It feels strange. It feels weird in our world right now. But we know that you are in control. We know that you love us, that you're the God of comfort and peace. And so we ask for that comfort and peace at this time. We love you so much, God. We're thankful for your son. It's in his name we pray. Amen. All right, to keep this like a regular class, we're going to play a game together. And the way it's going to work is you've got to comment to answer it right. The first person to comment the right answer gets a point. The person with the most points is going to win some kind of a prize. I'll figure what that is later. But here's what this game is called. This is famous phobias, this is famous fears. And so these are going to be celebrities that have these famous fears, okay? And so I want you to answer the question. Here's the first one. This is Kristen Bell. You might know her from classics like Frozen. And so for Kristen Bell, what is her famous fear? Is it freezing to death, wet, pruny fingertips, sloths, or the afterlife? Go ahead and put your answer in. Someone has gotten the correct answer. It is actually Christian Edelman. He gets it right. It is wet, pruny fingers. She wears these waterproof gloves in the pool. For real, she actually does. Okay, here's the next one. Orlando Bloom. You might recognize him from Pirates of the Caribbean. Lord of the Rings. I think he's in movies like that. So Orlando Bloom is afraid of what? Monkeys, horses, elves, pigs. Put in your answer. See who gets this right. No one has it yet. Oh, I see it. Lightning. Got it right. It's pigs. It's pigs. Does he eat bacon? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. Next one is Oprah. What is Oprah afraid of? Chewed gum, dirty socks, orange peels, or popped balloons? Go ahead and put your answer in. Who knows this one? Nobody's gotten it yet. All right, Christian. This, I think, is point number 2 for Christian. It is chewed gum. She once found chewed gum stuck on a dinner plate, and so she just threw the whole plate in the trash rather than cleaning the gum. I guess when you're as wealthy as Oprah, you can afford to do that. Save those plates, Oprah. All right, here's the next one. I'll be honest, I don't know who this is. So if you want to comment and tell me who this is, but Liam Payne, what is Liam afraid of? Is it scissors, forks, spoons, or chopsticks? All eating utensils. Well, scissors are not eating utensils. What's your answers? Let's see. The answer is, who got it right? Stewmeister, you got it right. It's spoons. How could you be afraid of spoons? Okay, while you may know who that person is, you might not know who the next one is. Robert De Niro. He's an older actor. Can't think of what he's from right now. Maybe Meet the Parents. I think he's from that. But here's his fears. Dentists, dogs, dancers, Danny DeVito. What's he afraid of? I see Allie has answered this right, unless she was answering for the last one, but it's A, dentists. I'm also a little terrified of dentists. Okay, two more. I think Christian's still ahead. Matthew McConaughey, is he afraid of revolving doors, dumpsters, tunnels, or bridges? Okay, I don't know how to score this one. He's actually afraid of 2 things, revolving doors and tunnels. Both of those are correct. I think Christian got that one as well as some others. All right. Good job on that one. And 1 or 2 more. Nicki Minaj, you might know her if you listen to her music. She's afraid of storm drains, airplanes, taxi cabs, escalators. What is she afraid of? Who Barded got this one right. It is D, escalators. She apparently made a big scene at the NBA headquarters when they tried to get her on one. I can understand. That's a reasonable fear. And then the last question that we have is Scarlett Johansson. She is from the Avengers movies and probably other things, but is she afraid of birds, Black Widow spiders, get the joke there, frogs, or seaweed? Let's see who gets this one right. Nobody yet. Everybody's putting frogs. It is not frogs. Yeah, Barton with another score. You're making a little comeback here. It is actually birds. She says she was basically afraid all the time on the set of We Bought a Zoo. I've not seen that, but that makes sense that she'd be afraid during that. I think our winner is Christian. I'll have to check with Nathan later on that. Christian, we'll see what we can do for you as a prize. Congratulations. You must be very proud. I am proud of you for getting that right. Okay, so talking about famous fears. And so as we're talking about that, I want to ask you a question that I want you to comment on. And so here's what that question is. What is a completely non-scary thing that you used to be afraid of? So when you were younger, what is something you were afraid of that you look back on now and you're like, that was silly. I shouldn't have been afraid of that. Maybe it's something weird like one of those things, or clowns. Maybe it's something normal like the dark. Maybe it's girls. I don't know. But comment below and let us know what your non-scary thing that you used to be afraid of was. Got some that are saying the dark. Dorian said Spider-Man. Dorian, come on. Maybe the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese might have been one you were scared of. I was a little terrified of that. Marina's scared of the dark now. I'm sorry, Marina. Allie was afraid of upstairs. What's upstairs, Allie? Wasp, that's a good one. Cough, that's something to be afraid of now as well. Girls, I understand that one. We got some other ones. Santa, Sladrina, getting a shot, that's a good one. The mall Santas. All good answers. We'll keep answering those. As you're answering them, earlier today, we had some of the teens come up. We tried to keep it under a group of 10, but they were able to escape from their homes. They came up to the building, and we bagged about 300 bags of groceries to be given away tomorrow at our drive-through food giveaway. Which, by the way, if you're able to help with that, we could use a couple that could help. Maybe at 8:30, if your parents are okay with that, we'll be meeting here at 8:30 in the morning to hand out these bags as people are driving through. No one's going to get out of their car to take the bag. And so we were setting up that today, and some of the guys decided to make a very, I don't know if the word inspirational is right, but very important, essential, instructional video. And so I want to share that video with you right now, but you can keep answering that question as you watch this video.
Hey guys, we've noticed since the coronavirus that you shouldn't be close to anyone. Wait.
Have you or a loved one been shaking hands with somebody lately? How dare you?
Instead of shaking hands, here's some alternatives you can use to greet people.
You can boost your immunity by just drinking the hand sanitizer.
Thanks for watching.
We hope you found these tips useful, and please leave a comment below letting us know which one was your favorite.
And remember, don't be shaking anybody's hands.
Good job, guys. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, boys.
Hope you enjoyed that. Appreciate those guys for making that video. Very important, very important. And so we'll post that later. You can share that because I think a lot of people need to see what those guys put together. So when I was a kid, I remember moments where I was feeling scared and afraid. I remember there was this stretch of my life when I was younger, probably 15, hopefully younger than that, where I would get really scared at night. And I can remember laying in bed and just my mind would wander. And I'd be thinking about all kinds of things, what could happen, what might happen. And so I'd get so scared and so worked up that sometimes I'd get kind of emotional about it. And so when those times would happen, I would decide to go downstairs and go into my parents' room and go to my father, go to my dad, go to my mom, tell them what was going on. And when I would do that, my parents, I remember being very patient with me. They were always trying to be very reassuring with me and give me some perspective on what I was thinking about. And looking back on that, while I was probably overreacting and letting my thoughts go to places they shouldn't have gone as I was working myself up and getting scared, what was important that I was doing during those times is I went to the Father. I think when we're going through times of uncertainty and when we're scared and fearful, it's important for us to remember to go to the Father. Jesus is talking to his disciples at the Last Supper, and he has this conversation with them. What he's about to go through is very scary. There's going to be some maybe uncertainty, not with Jesus, but with his followers. And so he gives them this advice. He shares this with them towards the end of his time with his followers. And he says this, he says, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Jesus is about to be arrested, tried, and crucified. There's about to be kind of a legit, fearful, scary time for his followers. But Jesus' advice to them is, do not be afraid. I'm going to give you peace. Don't let your hearts be troubled during what's coming next. Now, what was coming next may have been a very reasonable thing for them to be fearful about. But Jesus was reassuring them that I'm giving you a peace that's different than the peace that the world gives. Jesus says that he gives us peace, not the peace that the world gives. And those types of peace are different. The psalmist writes in Psalm 46, saying that God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. There are times when real things are happening. Scary things are happening. So I've got a question that I'd like for you to answer in the comments. And so here's the question. If the earth gives way, if the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, if that were to happen, what's the one dessert that you'll wish you could have had just one more time? I know for me, sorry if there's any Harding students watching this, but there's this place in Searcy or near Searcy in Ball Knob, Bulldogs, and they have this strawberry shortcake dessert. It's got pie crust and strawberries and whipped cream and nuts, and it is amazing. I would be really sad if I couldn't have that one more time. So what's the dessert that you wish that you could have just one more time if this were to happen? Let's see what some of the answers are. All right, Christian wants a brownie. Very simple. Brownie. Gold-covered ice cream is what Marina puts. That sounds interesting. I feel like you shouldn't eat that. Oh, you never had it in your life. Okay, all right. Ice cream cake, warm chocolate melting cake. That sounds delicious. A peanut butter cookie with peanut butter on top. That's a lot of peanut butter. So all good answers. Appreciate you guys answering that question. But for real, if this were to happen, if the earth were to give way, if the mountains were to fall into the heart of the sea, is there anything else that would help besides God? And we need to be honest with ourselves. Do we trust anything more than we put our trust in God? That's where our trust should be when everything around us is going crazy. And maybe it is real things happening around us, legitimate things that are going kind of crazy around us. We should put our trust in God. Psalm 56 verse 3 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." Wow, what a simple verse that gives such a great reminder for us. When you're afraid, where do you put your trust? It's important for us to remember to put our trust in God. And so if we're able to do that, when we're in moments of uncertainty, if we're remembering to go to the Father, just like when I was a kid and I was letting my mind wander to all kinds of places, I went to my Father. That's what we should do during times of uncertainty, times of fear. Go to our Father. He gives us peace. He gives us comfort during these difficult times. And so let's say we're able to do that. I want to look at one more verse together. In 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, this is a passage that should be familiar to many of us. Paul writes this to his young friend Timothy. He says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Now, this passage, at this time where we're isolated from a lot of people, how can we be a good example in all of these things as a follower of Jesus during a time like this? Well, I want to give you 3 ways that I think we can do this. How do we live out 1 Timothy 4:12 during times of isolation? Let me give you a couple ideas. Number 1 is this. Find ways to help your family around the house. You are stuck at home. This is a stressful time. And it's not just stressful for you. It's stressful for your siblings. There's uncertainty going on. It's stressful for your parents. And so instead of making things more stressful, look for ways and opportunities that you can help your family around the house. Maybe that looks like doing some extra chores. Maybe it's doing some things with your siblings to help your parents so that they can work on things at home. Find ways to help around the house. Here's the second one. Reach out to someone who is more isolated than you. Students, teenagers, y'all are great at this. You guys know how to be isolated and be connected at the same time. Y'all know how to be connected in so many ways when you're by yourself. But there's people that are older than you who don't know how to do this. And so think about who that might be. Maybe it's a grandparent. Maybe it's an older person at church. And they are isolated right now and they are feeling lonely. Reach out to them. FaceTime them. Write them a letter. Call them. If you can't think of anybody, ask your parents who is someone that you can reach out to that could use a phone call, a word of encouragement. Find a way to connect with someone who's feeling isolated at this time. And then another way that we can live out 1 Timothy 4:12 during isolation is be an example of comfort and peace. As you're trusting in God through this difficult time, find ways that you can continue to offer comfort and peace. Maybe it's encouraging someone. Maybe it's helping out with things that are happening at home. But look for opportunities to be examples of comfort and peace during isolation. Well, hey, that's it for our class tonight. Let me give a couple of announcements. Don't forget to subscribe. I feel like one of those cheesy YouTube people. Don't forget to subscribe and like this YouTube channel. Keep making comments. That's great. Share this with people if you'd like as well. We'll do this again next week if we can. Also, subscribe to a couple other people. Subscribe to our Regency Church of Christ YouTube page. Subscribe to Nathaniel 484 to check out what Nathan and Corianne Stout are doing. Also, subscribe to Dorian Curry's YouTube channel as well. And then I'm going to try to put out to you guys very soon some online activities that we can do together during the week. Maybe it'll be something like this. It might be a video devotional that you can do at home on your own. Maybe it's a YouVersion plan that we can read together. And then maybe it's a game that we can play online, like Jackbox, something like that. And so be on the lookout for that very soon. Thanks again for joining us. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good week. Talk to you soon. Thanks.